Hello YouTube, it's Auston Holleman, and today we're coming with a update video. If you guys don't know this is your first time to my channel, first of all you need to like and subscribe right away. Share this video with somebody that is interested in moving outside of the United States. Now, today I am a man that has been living outside the United States for 8 months. Let's specify, black man. Not that it matters, but I'm a black man that has been living outside the United States for 8 months. I've been to 4 continents this year. I've been to South America. No, I've been to 3 continents this year. I've been to South America, Asia, and now Africa. And by the end of this year, it'll be Europe as well. 4 continents this year. I plan to do at least 56 countries before the 2-year mark. And I'm here to update you guys on what it feels like to be out of the United States for 8 months. I'm going to interview myself with these questions. Do you miss your family? Absolutely. Family and a few close friends is some of the things that I miss. The people back home, the ones that know that I miss them, they know it. There's some people back home that know that I don't miss them as well, and I'm pretty sure that they know that because they're part of the issue. The reason I moved out of the United States was because of the shit show that's going on in the United States. Everybody has to be gay. Everybody has to keep up with the Joneses. Everything is about money. There's no actual, if in my experience, if your experience is yours, I don't care. This is my life. In my experience, there was no room to actually just do what I'm doing here, which is to live and enjoy people. It's all about money. You don't believe me? Why do people come to the United States? It's not for a fucking quality of life. It's because they're escaping a war or they're looking for a damn job. That's it. When I talk to people here in Kenya, they say, oh, but so many of us are trying to go there for a job. Other than that, what else is there in the United States that you don't have here? You know what I mean? So how does your mind, body, and soul feel now that you left the United States? Now, my body has more energy than ever, number 1. My skin is glowing more than ever, number 2. My skin is clearer than ever, that's number 3. Number 4, it feels like the weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. By that, like I said before, in the United States, I felt like I had to keep up with the Joneses. Everything was, yes, everywhere in the world you had to compete. But in the United States, there's a toxic level of competition to everything. Like, everybody has to be, I'm not saying I don't want to aspire to be the best person I am, because if I didn't, I wouldn't put these videos out daily. But you have, it's like living in the United States, you have to be just a fucking god to get a basic level of respect that you would get somewhere out the United States. Keep in mind the wording I just said. You have to be a god to get a basic level of respect that you would get out of the United States. I don't care what kind of respect you get back home. See, one thing y'all need to learn about me is I don't care what your life is like. I'm here to describe what my life was like, and there seems to be a lot of people that can relate. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to, oh, well, I'm getting a basic level. That's good for you. Stay where your ass is at then. Now, I also feel like I can finally be myself. I can dress the way I want, not anyway. There's still a level of standard. I like to dress nice anyway. But I can dress the way I want. Whenever I speak, I don't have to walk on eggshells. I can just relax and be around people that aren't going to judge you for every little thing. One thing about Austin, if y'all been watching me, y'all know I can't dance worth a damn. Now in the States, they will clown your ass. Here people will laugh too because it's funny, because I dance funny. But it's not to a point where I'm still not open enough to at least dance. You know what I mean? So I feel like I can be myself and I'm able to be Austin and I'm able to find who Austin is because I don't live in the United States of America. And you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. And not that I ever did that, but I always knew in order to be accepted, not that, and don't give me that bullshit, oh, you shouldn't be accepted. To a certain degree, we all want to fit in. There's a good way of fitting in and there's a bad way of fitting in. For example, a good way of fitting in is, let's just say, a good way of not fitting in. Let me say that a good way of not fitting in is something like what I'm wearing. If I go somewhere and I'm the best dressed person because I have on a shirt like this, that's a good way of not fitting in. But in the United States, we have a very casual, why are you dressed like that? You know, and that could be because I was hanging out the wrong places. I don't give a damn though. That's what I experienced. I went to a lot of places though. It's just a shithole in the United States. I could go on and on about that topic, but I hate it. Now, what do you miss about the United States? There are, since I moved out because of negative things, not everything in the United States is negative. Not everything in the United States is negative. For example, a country like Tanzania, right? If you don't have the money, if, let's say you need, and this is a story I was told, let's say you get hit in the head with a beer bottle and you bleed. If you don't have the payment for those stitches, they won't put them on you. That's what happens in a lot of countries outside the United States. So one positive about the United States is those laws do protect people. There are a lot of laws that protect us, like freedom of speech. I mean, you can't go around a lot of these countries I've been to say, you can't go to Vietnam talking shit about the government. You can't do that in Tanzania. You can't do that in a lot of places I've been to. That's a positive that I like. I mean, but I don't need freedom of speech that much. I mean, as long as I can say basic things, I don't need to talk about the government that much. But I also miss, but to go back to what I was saying was, in the United States, if you get shot, if you're cut, they're not going to say, oh, we're not going to help you because you don't have the money. No, by law, they have to help you, but you'll just go into debt. I'd rather be in debt than be bleeding every damn where. Now, I do miss professionalism. I will say the United States, things are on time. Everything has to be on time in the United States. In Africa, a lot of things are slow. In Brazil, a lot of things were slow when it came to food. People were very, I don't know what it was, but a lot of times they were slow. In Asia, not so much, but there's a certain level of professionalism that Americans are held to that around the world it may not be the same. So that's one thing I do miss, but not enough for me to go back. Resources, but what do I mean by resources? Or places, things to buy, you know what I mean? Like if I want to go buy a new camera like this DJI I'm using, I can go to 50 different stores in Dallas to buy that. Here in Kenya and Tanzania, not so much. I have not seen this camera yet. And the fact that I have to look for it so hard shows you the difference in between the two. There's access to a lot of just extra stuff because the United States is about spending money, so they have a lot for you to spend money on. A lot to access, such as like, not that I need it, but if I wanted to start my own aquarium, I used to have a saltwater fish tank with eels and stuff. I don't think I've seen that. Yeah, it's not common to see that kind of stuff around here, but that's not enough for me to move back. Now, what has been better about my life since I moved overseas? I get to enjoy life. What do I mean by I get to enjoy life? Well, whenever I come to places like Brazil, your money 5x's. If you have 20,000, it's worth 100,000 in Brazil, and it spends like 100,000 would in the United States. Same in all these other countries. It's probably not 5x, but it's usually 4 or 3, sometimes as low as 2. But you still get more bang for your buck, so you get access to more free time, and with free time you have more access to things that you wouldn't be able to do. Like back in the States, I don't think I had a lot of time to take off work. But now that I have a lot of excess income because my money multiplies and I work online, I have access to a better lifestyle. So I get to enjoy life, and I get to help other people enjoy their life by being around me. That doesn't mean that they're using me. Motherfucker can't use me, but I'm just saying. But one thing that I've really loved, and I stated this earlier, is that life is now about people and not materials. That's why you guys see me dressing so just relaxed when I was in Asia. I'm somewhat Brazil. Actually, yeah, when I was in Brazil too, I walked around either shirtless or in a tank top or in just basic clothes. Life is now about people. I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. I don't have to have the newest this or the newest that. Everything's not about a fucking physical thing. It's about who are you now. Because in the States, a lot of people are attracted to people based off what they have. And that's worldwide. But in the States, it's on steroids. But when you leave the United States, you can be very basically dressed, but you can be a great person, and you can attract way better people than you would in the States. Just saying. Now, what has been bad about being overseas for me? Number one is bank problems. When I went to Thailand for the first time, I don't know how, if you guys remember me, I lost my fucking debit card in the machine. Every month I've been having to renew it. The apartment that I kept for 3 months, just in case I had to go back to the States, they were snatching my mail or something like this. So I could never verify my debit card. Then it's hard to call the United States, especially when you don't have a United States phone company anymore. That's a huge, the banking and having to call the United States is a huge issue. I have a friend that's in Tanzania right now, and I think it's HG Block or somebody like that. They've locked his information up, and they're so secure to the point where he has to fly back to the United States just to get his money, just to get his bank account settled so he can come back and live in Tanzania. That's a lot of shit. And then signing up for a bank account in these other countries is not as much of a cakewalk as you would think. I had one in Brazil, but then it was an issue transferring the money, from my American account to my Brazilian. So it's a huge. It's not enough for me to want to move back to the States. Bullshit. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying it's an issue, but it's worth the issue. Negative cultural differences. When you leave the United States, there's a lot of things that we do that other people don't do that can come off to other people as negative. And I'm not going to go too deep into that, but just know that a lot of ways that you think need to be readjusted when you leave the United States. Just know that. People outside the United States do try to take advantage of you. I've had a few people try to get over on me. I would have been, I always say this, I would have been the best FBI agent they ever had. Because I, as a kid, wanted to be an FBI agent because I enjoyed watching people fuck up and sitting back and taking notes and letting you continue to fuck up so I can come get you when you fucked up a lot. And people try to do that outside. I've had it happen in Africa before where people try to run game on you, and I'm like, okay, I see what he's doing, but let me just see how long he's going to do this. Because they know that you're American, they know that you have, I don't think they care about the status, one thing, but I think it's more, they could, but it's more so the money and the opportunity that you could bring to them. And it is what it is. It's still not enough to make me move back to the States. One other thing that's negative is about the damn expats. It seems like I've had more problems with, more shady or just petty problems with American expats than I did with Americans actually in America. It's kind of odd. So which one of my viewpoints were your viewpoints about cultural differences wrong is what I asked myself. I'm sorry I'm reading. No, none of them. Whenever I said that the people are more humble overseas, everything I came out with when I first started talking about Brazil last year, I still believe. Everything is true. From the women to how the other men treat you to how your spirit, everything I said you can pretty much take it to the bank. It's not absolute. That don't mean it'll be the same experience for you, but for many and for me, it's true. So just know that. Do you ever see yourself come back to the United States of America? Abso-fucking-lutely not. To visit. I'll go back and visit my mom and my, family, my dad and all that for, maybe a month. And then it's time to leave. Because I ain't got time to fuck with y'all. When you leave the United States, your patience level, let me lay it out like this. Whenever I first went to Brazil, you guys see me still ranting about the United States until about January of 2023, this year. After that, I had my little issue or whatever, but then I slowly, after that 4-month mark actually, after that 4-month mark hit, I started to slowly, dramatically, actually, day by day, not caring about what's going on in the States. I never did looking at the react. I couldn't react to the videos of modern women, and I didn't really care. But now the United States issues, if somebody brings them up, I'll agree with what they're saying, but I don't care. I really don't care. And by the time a year passes, I really don't see myself wanting to go back at all. I would never live there again. There's not a goddamn amount of fame, money, nothing that can make me stay there permanently ever again. I don't even know. I would lose my damn mind if I came back there. I was about to lose it before I left. And now I got it. And I'm not giving it back. So, with that being said, where do I see myself settling down at? At this point now of 8 months being out of the United States, I could see myself settling down in Brazil. Just based off my experience, I don't care what happened. Brazil, Tanzania, or Kenya. Those are my three. But remember, I still have 40 plus countries to go to within the next 18 months. So I don't know where exactly I'm going to stay at. I might get to Europe and like it more, which I doubt because I like Africa a lot. But I might get, to, I don't know, Sweden and like it a lot, which I doubt because I don't like cold weather. But I'm just saying. But for right now, those three countries are places that I could really see myself living at permanently or for an extremely long time. What is your goal of being overseas? My goal, as I just said, number one, it was to confirm and get my mental health together because I couldn't live in the United States, and to inspire other people to follow along behind me that may have had the same issues. But right now, I'm traveling around the world just to experience the world and to figure out and take notes. Where was I treated the best at? Where did my money go the furthest at? Where did I enjoy myself the best at? Who had the best food? Put those together and figure out exactly where I want to stay. If you like that video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think below in the comments as well. And if you really support this content, my Cash App is $Auston Holleman, PayPal, AustonHolleman@gmail. People have been asking how much did I pay for these shirts. These shirts that PJ made, I believe, were around $75 to $80 a pair, a shirt. The pants were about $90 a shirt. But if you really want to know, I left his Instagram under the video on my first day in Kenya. I'll leave it under this video as well. Reach out to him and he'll give you a price, and he can size you over the phone. He can ship you the product. Reach out to him right now because he's an amazing tailor.